Ryan Barnhart here, the voice of the
WTIM. Good morning. You're listening to WTIM and your information station and our WTIM morning show with Pana civic business and nonprofit leaders. It's coming to you from our Taylorville studios. The WTIM Pana morning show is brought to you by our title sponsor and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, along with your Pana Save-A-Lot, Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, Bob Riding's Pana, the Nokomis Dairy Queen Pana Bowl, and the Okanee Chop Shop. I'm your host, Grayson Bauman, and our guest in this segment, we're joined by Melissa Miller, president of Pana Pride. Melissa, good morning to you. How are you?
I'm good, Grayson. How are you?
Doing well on this end, and glad to have you here to tell us a little bit about all those things that we talked about in November and what we've got coming up here in December. And we want to start with Pana Market. From your end of things, Melissa, how was the Pana Market that you guys had and what took place?
So yes, we had our Pana Market was held on November 8th this year. Had about 45 vendors. It was very successful. Lots of people came and shopped. The whole day was busy. It worked out really well for all the vendors that were there. We've already set the next date for next year, which will be our 5th year of having this event, and that's going to be November 7th. So over the past 4 years, we've probably raised close to, or maybe even over $10,000. So the booth rental that comes in from those vendors, we donate back to the community. So it's gone to things like the Pana Pool, revitalization of the park, the skate park, the demo fund, different things that that looks like it needs a little extra help. We've kind of put that money towards that. So we're looking forward to our 5th year next year. And when that gets closer, obviously I'll have more details about it.
Okay, but the next date is set for November 7th of next year. And then you mentioned to us over the past 4 years, you've raised roughly $10,000. So how was this year in terms of years prior? Did you find this year to be even more successful as you continue to add to it?
It's pretty comparable to last year. Last year we had a really good year because the football playoffs were at Pana and they were going on across the road. And so we had all kinds of people, who were coming in for that were also coming over and shopping. So last year was a really, really good year. And this year we didn't have the playoffs to boost that amount of people coming in. So we did really good, very comparable to last year. So definitely a very successful year.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. And we've already got the 5th year planned coming up as of 2026. And you mentioned to us as well that it goes to all these separate funds. Now, there are many funds that are associated with Pana Pride, but basically you're just choosing what needs the most help when you're determining who to allocate the funds to or how to allocate the funds?
Correct. The two girls that are in charge of putting the market together, they kind of are aware of what's going on in the community and what might be a project that's going on that might need the money, would appreciate it. So like 1 year, I know they gave money to the Pana Pool, the Park Revitalization Committee, they gave some of the money to them 1 year to help with a project they had going on. So kind of just depends what's going on.
Well, I think that's nice too, though. Yeah, to keep it flexible and to be able to support what is needed most at that time. And so Pana Market was held on November 8th. Anything else when it comes to Pana Market, Melissa, that you thought was successful or that was of note before we switch topics here?
No, like I said, it's a great successful year. It's a pretty well-oiled machine. Everybody comes and sets up their stuff and helps each other out. Lots of people help each other carry stuff in. We're there to help with that. So, no, it was a very successful event. We're happy to have had everyone that came, not only as a vendor, but as a shopper.
Well, excited now for the 5th year coming up 11/7 of 2026. Now, this deal that we're turning to now was brand new to Pana Pride and being hosted. I'm excited to hear more about it because this is not, I guess, a typical deal in my eyes. This is not something that is focused on very often. What happened on November 15th that you can tell our listeners about?
So on November 15th, we held our very first mother-son night out event. We kind of mirrored it off of our daddy-daughter dance that we have in February every year. We had a couple moms who had made the past year or so about how they wish that there was something for moms and sons to do, like the daddy-daughter dance. So we did think on it for a year or two, and so this year we did have our first mother-son night out. We had a great group. I think we had altogether, counting moms, 65 to 75. I'm not sure on the final number. We had some people who, because of sickness or whatever, didn't come, who had prepaid, but then we also had several at the door that came in and bought tickets that night. So we'll say around 70 attendees. We had crafts for the kids to do with their moms to make a photo frame. We had dancing, of course. We also played a game. We played like a four-corner game halfway through. And then we also had a room for Nerf guns and targets that the kids could go in and shoot at targets. We had balloons they could shoot at and different things hanging from the ceiling. And then, of course, we had snacks. I think it was a very successful year for it, being our first one. Obviously, there's some things we want to tweak to make it better. We did have Bonnie McKinney photography there and took pictures of everyone as they came in. She took a picture of mom and son together, and then that was emailed to them. We are going to reach out to the moms that came this year and to see if they have any ideas or suggestions on things they liked, didn't like, would like to see different, etc. But overall, it was a very successful event. All the little guys were out there dancing. I was surprised to see that. I thought maybe there might be some, not wanting to dance, but they were all out there.
Well, it's easy to shy away from the dance floor, at least if you're me. So I can understand that. But I am glad to hear that it was as successful as it was, because to me, it was kind of a unique endeavor and a first for you guys. And so by the sounds of it, it was very successful, had about 70 attendees. And that's another note that you mentioned there that I would like to kind of double down on, or at least come back to. Talking to those moms that actually came. That's something that you guys love to do is gather that community feedback. And so how do you plan to maybe do so? Just shooting a quick email over their way, or how do you plan to really gather some of that information to make said improvements maybe next year?
Well, a lot of the moms we know, so I've actually talked to a couple of them just in person. So I've gotten a little bit of feedback from some of them already, but when they had their picture taken, we got their email so that we could email them the picture. So we're going to just send them a quick email, thanking them obviously for coming and making it a successful night, but then just asking them if they had any feedback to give us. And so hopefully we'll get some more feedback that way.
So what I like about the gathering of feedback also is the fact that it sounds like year 2 is coming up. So is that for sure? Or we're pretty dead set on the fact that we'd like to have this again next year?
Oh no, we're going to do it again. Yeah, we'll definitely be having it probably every year. It was like I said, very successful, a lot of fun. And all the moms that came did have a good time, and they all said thank you, had a good time. Like I said, all the little guys are out there dancing. We had I think 3 or 4 might have been our youngest age. I can't remember how old he is exactly. I think he's 3, and then I want to say maybe 13 was our oldest. 12 maybe. 13 was the cutoff. So I think that we might have had a 12-year-old there. But yeah, they were all, I think, more boys danced than moms did, so we got to get the moms out there.
Well, just the fact that dancing was happening is a good deal in my eyes. So obviously, we just wrapped that up, and so we got to work on a 2026 date. But I'm just glad to hear that it went so well here in the first year, and that we do have a second year coming up in 2026. You also mentioned in there the father and daughter dance, so you kind of, I'm not going to say mimicked it, but it was kind of a play off of it. Is that something that we'll have coming up in 2026?
Oh, yeah. It'll be in February. We've been tossing around ideas for dates. We haven't pinpointed that down yet, but yeah, there'll definitely be a father-daughter dance in February.
Okay, so we can expect maybe just some more information to come out as soon as possible on that, but expect it in February for the father-daughter dance, and then mother-son night out. Again, we're talking with Melissa Miller, president of Pana Pride. They held that on November 15th. It was their first go at it, and I'm really glad to hear it was a successful event. Anything else you'd like to mention with Mother and Son Night Out before we maybe take ourselves a break, Melissa?
Nope, just we want to thank everybody in the community that makes those events successful.
Sure thing. Melissa Miller, president of Pana Pride, joining us here on the WTIM Pana Morning Show. We'll come back and we'll talk the month of December with her when we return. It's all brought to you by your Pana Save-A-Lot, Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, Bob Riding's Pana, the Nokomis Dairy Queen Pana Bowl, and the Okanee Chop Shop, as well as our title sponsor and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. You're listening to the WTIM Pana Morning Show. It's coming to you from our Taylorville studios. We'll be right back with Melissa Miller, president of Pana Pride.
WTIM.
will help you stay active and independent. You'll receive great medical care and the therapy you need to get moving again. If you've been in the hospital or just need a little boost, call Taylorville Care Center at 824-9636, 824-9636. Taylorville Care Center, caring for our community for over 50 years.
If you're 40 and over, you'll recognize these artists by their first names. Frank, Dean, Sammy, Andy, Nat, Diana, Michael. Well, here's the big news. You can now hear Central Illinois' largest music library with over 3,500 songs on air and online at 965thechill.com. Tune in on the FM dial in Christian County and on your computer or smartphone. Hear these great artists and many more 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on 965thechill.com.
WTIM.
And we're back with the WTIM Pana Morning Show here on your information station, WTIM. We're joined by Pana civic business and nonprofit leaders coming to you from our Taylorville studios. The WTIM Pana Morning Show, it's brought to you by our title sponsor and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, as well as Pana Save-A-Lot, Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, Bob Riding's Pana, the Nokomis Dairy Queen, Pana Bowl, and the Okanee Chop Shop. I'm your host, Grayson Bauman. Our guest in this segment, president of Pana Pride, Melissa Miller. We touched on their Mother and Son Night Out. That's on November 15th, or was held on November 15th, and just before that, Pana Market, which was a week prior on the 8th of November. Now we turn to December, and Melissa, there's a lot going on with you guys, an exciting announcement, really, I think, with all the snow that fell on Saturday. What can you tell us about Pana Pride and what you got going on in December?
All right, so December is our December to Remember. We have our light show in the park. We worked every weekend in the month of November to get everything set up and ready, with our big lighting night to be Saturday, which we got a ton of snow. So we did still turn the lights on. They are set on timers, so they did still come on. It was not, we weren't able to go out and like check. Sometimes, a cord comes loose or a display decides it doesn't want to work. So we weren't able to go out and check anything that night, and I don't believe anyone drove through. We didn't run our donation hut that night. Obviously, it was still coming down pretty good with the snow, and the roads weren't plowed through the park. But the city did get the roads plowed for us, did a really good job. And so on Sunday night, everyone was able to start driving through the park. I drove through last night myself, talked to the girl working the booth. And between the 2 nights, at that point, we'd had over 120 cars come through. So lots of people love the lights. There is we have like over 175 displays. We have added about 16 new ones this year. And we did add to our animated light show. The animated light show, a lot of people don't realize it's a light show. It's on the diamond, the ball diamond. And if you see when you start driving in, there's signs that tell you to tune to 90.7. That music station is playing Christmas songs, but those songs are programmed to that light show. So if you pull over and watch for a little bit, you'll see that the light show plays to the music. The trees sing, there's dancing, and we have a new addition to the light show. We have a big screen that shows pictures and animated things across it. So I haven't had a chance to look at that one yet. I drove through pretty quick last night, but that's there, and the lights are going to be on until the 31st. They'll go off that night. Will be the last night they're on.
Okay.
We do have some openings if anyone would like to work at our donation booth. We accept cash donations. We also are collecting food for the food pantry. If you want to bring a canned item to donate as well. Donations are not required if you just want to drive through, or if you've drove through every night. Like my daughter brings my grandkids through almost every night. I said, you don't have to donate every single night. there can be a limit on that. So if you're interested in working the donation booth, just you can look us up on Facebook at the Pana Pride page, or you can call or text me at 217-827-4288. Shifts are 5 to 7 and 7 to 9. I haven't seen the current list, so I'm not sure what openings are still available. And then some exciting things that are going to be going on the rest of the month as well. We will have Santa. He'll be in his house starting on the 6th, and he'll be there through the 23rd. So from the 6th to the 23rd. During the week, he'll be there from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., and on the weekends from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And then the First United Pentecostal Church of Pana will have their live nativity on December 17th and December 18th. It'll be in the pavilion that's over by the pool, and I believe that they are there at 7:30.
Okay. So there is a lot kind of intermingled in between December to remember here, but Santa Claus will be there from 6 to 8 p.m. during the week, December 6th through the 23rd, and then on the weekends from 2 to 4. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then for the live nativity, which I'm glad that it's running 2 nights, just in case somebody wasn't able to make it the first, you have December 17th and 18th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at your North Pavilion. That would be the correct times for that as well?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
It's from 6 to 7:30. Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Just want to make sure I'm tracking with you here as well. And then you mentioned that light show going on as well on the ball diamond. What about, what is that an always type of thing for the December to Remember and the Festival of Lights there at Kitchell Park, or is that new to this year?
The light show has been there. I want to say this is the 4th year. I want to say 4th year. I can't remember exactly how many years we did not have it the first year, I don't believe. So I want to say it's the 4th year. But initially, when we first had it, it was over on. And I'm terrible about the diamonds. My kids make fun of them. I think it's on the South Diamond now. I think it was on the North Diamond the first year we had it. And yeah, this is the 4th year because it was on the North Diamond the first year. It was kind of hard to see. There wasn't really where to pull over, park, and look at it. So then the next year we moved it to the soccer practice field over by the Chautauqua, which was a great place to have it, except that people, you had to kind of drive off the path to get to it, and people didn't realize you could do that, nor did they realize it was a light show. So then last year we moved it to the diamond it's on now, and that has worked out really well. There's a place you can pull over, you can pull in and park and watch it. It plays like, I want to say 4, 5, 6 different songs.
Really?
Maybe more. Like I said, the gentleman that puts it together for us, he programmed some new stuff in it this year, and I haven't seen it, so I'm not exactly sure how many it's playing this year.
Well, Melissa, I'm just glad to hear that 175 plus displays, several new ones, the light show going on, and that everything got pretty well off without a hitch on Saturday. So for you in December to Remember, just check out Kitchell Park pretty much as soon as possible, and the Pana Pride Facebook page for more information. Melissa, thanks for joining us here today.
All right. Thanks, Grayson.
You are very welcome. Melissa Miller, president of Pana Pride, here on the WTIM Pana Morning Show.